Well, Dr. Imes, talk to me a little bit about how God's holy name gets played out at Mount Sinai, specifically around the Ten Commandments.
It's impossible to overstate how important Mount Sinai is for the constitution of the people of Israel and for their discovery of who they are and why they're here in the world. And when they arrive at Mount Sinai, one of the first things God tells them is that they are his treasured possession, a holy nation, a kingdom of priests. And in that moment, he's claiming them as his own. They're going to belong to him. So that leads into the Ten Commandments, where God tells them not to take his name in vain. Normally in the West, in modern times, we think of this as a prohibition of swearing or using God's name as a swear word. And that's not at all what's going on here. In the Hebrew, the command is telling the people not to misrepresent Yahweh. So it says in Hebrew, you shall not lift up or carry my name in vain. The idea is that at Sinai, God has placed his name on the people to claim them as his own, and then he tells them not to misrepresent him to the nations.
Yeah, that's a much bigger, wider concept for that commandment than how I at least heard it growing up as well. Talk to me a little bit about specifically, if they're now carrying his name, for what purpose would this serve for them?
Yeah. When they first arrive and God tells them that they're his treasured possession, this is a really important moment. The Hebrew word that he uses there is segula. And a segula is a technical term used in treaty context. So in English, it sounds like this is a term of endearment that he uses for the people, but it's much more important than that. It's used in treaty context to indicate an especially esteemed ambassador, like a treaty partner that can be trusted to represent the king. And so for God to call Israel his treasured possession or his segula indicates that they are now on mission. He's commissioning them to represent him among the nations. That's the really important context for all of the laws that follow. So all of the 10 Commandments and the 613 other laws that God gives in the Torah, all of these are part of Israel's mission to represent God. And the idea is that they represent him in every area of life, how you plow your fields, how you make clothing and wear it, how you treat your neighbor, how you handle your money, how you think about the issues of liability and protecting your neighbor's property. All sorts of civil ideas are included in this that seem like they come in our mind from lots of different categories. And yet, because they are a people who represents God, the idea that they belong to him touches every area of life.
So God identifies them as they're going to be his treasured possession, and then he moves on and he says, a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. How is that all tied into this?
Yeah, this is such a significant passage because it is identifying who they are and how they're to live in the world. If you're living in ancient Egypt, you are well aware that the most amazing monuments are the temples. And the priests are the ones who keep those temples in operation. They're bringing offerings, sacrifices to the gods. They're maintaining sacred space. So when they arrive at Mount Sinai and God tells them, you will be for me a kingdom of priests, it would have been shocking news. It would have been like, wait, we've seen a nation with priests, but we've never heard of a nation where everyone is a priest. God is addressing the people of Israel in a different way. He sees all of them as having a priestly function in relation to the nations, and that's why he calls them a holy nation.
And this idea of bearing God's name is not something that we just find in Exodus 19 and 20. This is a thing that just keeps rolling through the Bible.
Once you see this, you can't unsee it. It's in almost every book of the Bible.